Hey guys, this is Justin A again, just playing cover song "What's New Pussycat" by Leo Moracale, one of my personal favorite guys who does metal covers.
Yeah.
And today's guest is Gato Rojo. It is a fun one, guys. There is a lot.
Yeah.
Gato,
Yeah.
Gato, wait, come on, Gato, just be patient, wait your turn.
Yeah.
I know, we'll get to you really quick, okay, Gato?
Yeah.
I know. You can be a little more impatient at times, but this interview is really fun, guys. It's a really in-depth talk to Gato. We talk about his character. We talk about him. We talk about wrestling. We talk about lots of interesting things.
Yeah.
I just want to get to my advertisers real quick, and we can drop the show after that. Go to theloveshop.com or .ca, guys, for all your personal toy needs. You know, Christmas time's coming up. Go check them out because you know what, your partner's gonna love whatever you get there. And look at it together, guys, because it is fun. It is, and just go look at this stuff because everybody likes to have a little bit of fun in the bedroom there. If you need any artwork done for anything, go check out Solid Wood Designs, guys. If you need a logo done up, if you need help with a website, you need some graphic design work done, go check out at Solid Designs on Instagram and tell him Gilmy sent you because he's a very talented fellow there. And go check out Bats in the Belfry art and Instagram. It's just a cool site, has a lot of amazing Transformer stuff on it, and she is a fantastic friend of the show. Go check out her stuff. She's very talented, and if you don't like Transformers, there's other stuff there too. And check out Tabby Lynn's Facebook page for all your Scentsy needs because nobody wants their house to stink. Today I think we have the peppermint, kind of a Christmassy smell theme going on at the Gilmet household, and it's very nice. No, normally I'm not a huge fan of the mints, but this one's very mellow, nice at smelling, and keeps the scents away from the dogs and their cats. Just gonna say thank you to Gato for coming on, doing this podcast. It was really fun. Hope everybody enjoys it. And if you got 30 seconds, go to the Apple podcast sites and just check out give me a 5-star rating, review, anything. It helps boost Gilmy Talks up those magic Apple algorithms. Every time I get a review, I get a huge bump in numbers. I get pushed up the charts, and I appreciate every single one of you who takes just 30 seconds and does that for me because it really helps out the show. It boosts my advertiser stuff as well, and we got to keep the lights on, right there, guys. Now, and here's Gato Rojo, guys. We'll enjoy. Good morning, good evening, good night. How's everybody doing out there? This is Gilmy back again, and I have an amazing guest right now. I have Gato Rojo on the line here. How's the day going there, Gato?
Yeah.
Ah, that good, eh?
Yeah.
Well, first a question I do want to ask. Where did you start? Where did you get that initial spark to follow a dream in professional wrestling?
Well, okay. I'll stop meowing for a second here. Well, I don't know. It's for me. It's like, well, regards to self-expression, it's kind of like everything that's about me. It's like I wouldn't be pursuing it if it wasn't. But I don't know. There's regards to presentation, regards to overtopness, regards to first off, like the thing that draws to me is the costuming and the gear, and that's just something that I'm a very visual person, and that's something that always draws me in. And then and then it comes down to the action and the fun, and like people and looks and. I like it when I see a match and people are having fun and you can see it, and it's a draw for me. It was always a draw for me when I was growing up, and because it was for me personally, I liked wrestling a lot more than comic books and superheroes and all that because the wrestling is real. The wrestlers are real. It's all really happening, as opposed to Superman, Batman. It's all just kind of movies and comic books, and they're not. It's not something that actually really happened. To me, wrestling is something that was real, and it had everything that made comic books and superheroes exciting, but it was actually a lot realer than a superhero. And like for me, kind of like my own, fantasizing growing up, like I fantasized about growing up to be a wrestler because it was something that was real and something achievable, even though at the time it felt like it was something I could never do or something I'd achieve because I wasn't anywhere near where a wrestling ring would be where I grew up and all that. So but it was just something that kind of, when you see it when you're young, and then it kind of stays with you, and then once you actually do get that opportunity, you jump on it.
And I do gotta ask, where did you get your initial training?
Where did I start training? Yes.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. When I started, actually, in London, actually, I had a good friend. His name was Scott McEwen. I befriended him.
Sarge. Yeah.
Oh, you know Scott.
Yep.
Yes. And he gave me, I became friends with him, and he, for those who don't know, he has a private ring at his home, and it's a great environment. It's a very nice ring. I could bump in it all day. So it gave me a place where I can learn the foundations. That's where I learned to bump in regards to moving around the ring, and the very basics of it. And then I was going back and forth between there and the Toronto area for a bit, and then I eventually ended up in Squared Circle training for some time, for about a year. And I trained there, and towards the end of it, my in a time training at Squared Circle, I worked for on and off for about a year, and I did altogether about 15 matches. At that time, it's like I had a vision of what I was to be. Like I had the cat gimmick there then for a bit, and I went under the name T Gray Battle Cat, which I look back at it as like I really struggled to actually find a good name that I liked, but I was kind of felt unfortunate. I was kind of stuck with that, so because I didn't come up with anything better. So during that time, it's I kind of like struggled to find my place, or like, and I was kind of like I was dealing with some kind of personal stuff at the time. So I am a gay man, and I was kind of like having some kind of like comfort issues. Well, it's more my own issue than other people. So, but it was just something I kind of like to be open and honest with people was something that really held me back. And so I kind of, unfortunately, when I left wrestling, I got unhappy because of things that were going on. So then, so I took a few years break, and then unfortunately I got injured in the process playing hockey, and then it kind of took me some time to get back. But then I found a spark again, and I started training Rip Impact with Hamilton Pro Wrestling. That was about a year ago. I started like getting back in there, started like trying stuff again, and then kind of like finding my way, and then at the same time finding my character again. And then I kind of honed it, and I really honed into it a lot more than I did before. I actually became more than just a guy in a cat costume. I actually really became a cat, and it's I kind of let my inhibitions and kind of like let myself really go at it and just kind of like lose myself in headspace type thing and in my character. That's what, at that time I kind of worked really hard and getting comfortable around people and kind of opening up and being more honest and about who I am and where I come from type of thing. So I've been that's where I've been kind of working out for the last little while. And over the past year I've been like getting back into the circuit and kind of like getting to know and getting to work again, and things are finally kind of clicking for me. It's kind of like, I still have a ways to go to smooth things out, but regards to who I am as a wrestler, I'm feeling a lot more than what I did before, and it feels great. It's for me a very liberating thing to be where I am now. So all I can do is just keep looking forward at this point and keep training, keep working, and do some good shit.
Awesome, man. I'm very glad to hear that you're becoming more comfortable and more yourself out there.
I couldn't do it with the people in wrestling, and my partner as well, and and I've also been kind of like seeking professional help to kind of like get some direction in regards to in my head and how to kind of like face my past head on. I mean, we all have problems with our past, but for me, I had to really face it head on and to kind of like deal with it and then move on and not let these issues kind of hold me back anymore. I'm doing a lot better job with it now than I have before, so I just have to keep being open and keep being honest about what's in my head, so when I go out there I can give it.
Yeah.
So it feels good.
Very, very glad to hear that, man.
Yes. Yeah. So I told him to scatter me out, just remind people who I am. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I do gotta ask, since coming back as Gato Rojo, what has been your favorite match to date?
Well, it was actually it was kind of like before Gato became Gato. I was still Tigre, and back in 2013, July 17th. That's my guess. I'm not too sure exact date, but it was actually in St. John's, Newfoundland. I was at Club One, and I was at the very first show for Newfoundland Pro Wrestling, and it was me in a three-way. It was an opening match. It was me, Marcus Burke, and I forget his ring. I remember his shoot name, but I forget his ring name. But anyway, it's a three-way match, and my sister and a couple of friends were from home were there, and it was a blast. I was like, that was probably one of the best crowds that I've ever like. People in St. John's, whenever they have something happen there, people really appreciate it, because we don't really get a lot of acts, or we don't get a lot of bands in town, or we don't really have a lot of things because Newfoundland's fairly it's edge of the world type of place, so it's very expensive to kind of get people out there. So people just loved it. They were hot the entire show, and to open up for it and to be the opening match for them, and to have such a great response, and I kind of discover some things myself regards to performance and all that. It was for me one of my greatest memories in wrestling, and it was a positive thing to think about. So that's kind of my all-time favorite. The last couple of matches I've done for Demand Lucha have been great. It's kind of like they've really given me an outlet to kind of like discover who Gato is. So I'm very fortunate to be working with them, and hopefully relationship stays good, and we keep going.
Yeah, because you were actually in London the other day at the Tequila Expo, and
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, I could not actually make it to that one because life. Um, but I
Yeah,
did
I hear it.
when Demand Lucha or Crossbody, any of those guys come to London, I do my very best to go check them out because London needs more and more wrestling. I think, but
Well, yeah, well, kind of most places need more wrestling, so I don't know. Hope I can get a few more bookings out that way. So because I mean, it's I don't know, the crowd was great. I loved it. So
oh
it was such a great response from the people. So yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully, I get a few more bookings out that way. So.
yeah. I do gotta ask next question here. What do you like to see in a wrestling match yourself?
Vibrant characters. I'm a very I'm a very character oriented person. It's what makes me remember it. Yeah, cool moves are good, and smooth wrestling is great. But give it a month, are you going to remember what happened? Not like personally, me, no. It's kind of like because I watch so much wrestling. It's kind of like I see kind of stuff happening all the time. But with regards to making something memorable and memorable personalities are like that's the thing that's going to make for me to enjoy a match is something either something with a character or something visual. It's something that kind of creates that lasting memory. So I mean in this what I'm saying isn't really anything specific, but it's just something that just makes you remember what the hell happened, even though you don't remember an entire match. But that's something that just sticks with you. Yeah, that's what regards to what I want to see in a match, and that's what and regards to when I work a match, and I tried my few spots of either audience engagement or something kind of character based. That's the thing that people are gonna remember me by. So kind of like what I want to see. So something colorful, something vibrant. Hopefully, that's what it does for me. So it's you remember all the you think of all the wrestling that you watch growing up, and you think of what you remember. Yeah, you remember you remember finishing moves because you've seen it so often or whatever. But it's personalities that you remember, or it's how a person looks or whatever. But it's just kind of like this overall package, and that's something that for me, it's what I want to see. So regards to guys doing kind of a busy match, and I don't remember any of it, or something I don't see, or that's something that kind of loses me sometimes. So that's kind of important to me in a match.
Yeah, because one thing I really, this is just my personal thing. One thing I love to see is just like an old school face lock or some chain wrestling because that you don't see that kind of stuff on most shows anymore. And I just really like watching. Yes, super kicks are great, suicide dives are great, 450 splashes are great, but I miss the actual wrestling aspect some times on these shows. Or
Well, yeah, I hear you there, and it's like I've seen many matches where I see a dive happen, and I don't really see much of a response from people, and I see it, and it's kind of like well, it's and it's something as regards to a very compelling spot, and it looked really great,
yeah,
but people, it just people are pick your audience type thing for what you're doing. That does make a huge difference. But yeah, just kind of like being able to see what's happening and being able to take time to digest what's going on in the match. That's a very critical thing. Yeah, I totally hear you there. Chain wrestling gives you time to see see what wrestlers do, and it's a bit of time for the audience to breathe for a bit and kind of take in what's going on. Yeah, that's something. And regards to you don't see as much change. Well, you do see it, but at the same time, there's less of it. A lot of people. There's a lot of people in the audience that may not necessarily uh, get into chain wrestling. Like they get more into chair shots or whatever. They're just dying for somebody to come with a chair swing and So that's the thing. Is kind of one thing I really enjoy about wrestling is the fact that there's so much about wrestling and not all of it I like personally for me I like Lucha Libre is my favorite. It's like everything about it. I watch so much of it and I'm kind of a nerd for it. But I don't like everything about it. A lot of what I watch now, it happens so fast that I can't really see what happens, and it's kind of like you don't even have time to kind of say, oh, that was great. Oh, nope, moving on to something else. Oh, something else. So, and almost kind of like they're almost at the point where there are no selling Canadian destroyers, and it's just like it's happening as much as hip tosses now. So, but I often go back to older Lucha Libre because the characters are just so engaging, just so fun to watch. Oh my God! I could go back and I can think of Kendo. Kendo is one of my favorite, and Super Astro. Super Astro, I could watch all day. He's just and he's one of my favorites because not only he's just so fun to watch, and in regards to everything he does, the movements and just character and just engagement, everything he does, but he's also a big dude, and he's a big dude that people say, regards to Lucha Libre, they think it's first thing for small guys because dude flying around flipping and all that. It's like you watch Super Astro, the guy who trained Rey Mysterio, who trained Conan, he trained so many of who we know, and it's like he was a big dude. And it's kind of it was amazing. It's amazing to go back and watch and see what he was doing. And it's kind of it's very inspiring. And for me, and I kind of sidetracking here for a bit. But in wrestling, there's so much, and there's so many ways to make people smile. And for me, it's kind of I have my way to make people smile. It's not going to make everybody smile, but then you have somebody else on that card that make that person smile, that sort of thing. So it's kind of that's why you have a few matches, and you have a few different people that you can try to reach as much as people that who paid for a ticket to enjoy what's going on. So it's so much variety and so much kind of creative aspect to it, and when you have the freedom, then when you have the creative freedom to work what you can, and it's to me it's so enjoyable, and it's just you can go back and watch something different and see something different all the time, as long as you kind of keep exploring and keep your vision a bit broad. I don't know, there's just so much to love about it. I love it.
Because there's myself, I love the hardcore stuff. I love Death Proof Fight Club. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those guys or not.
Oh yes, I know. Yes.
But those guys are one of my favorite live shows to go to because you never know what you're going to expect. The crowd is always crazy, and it's so much fun just to be in the atmosphere and check out for a few minutes. But on the other hand, I also love going to see Smash when they come to London because it's the super indie shows, and you get the high flying, high risk. The storytelling's always great with those guys. The production value is great. I love going to Kitchener, seeing Crossbody because they do another style, and their $5 student shows are fantastic. And you never know who's going to show up there.
Yeah, and you don't know, it's a chance to see who's going to be new, and kind of it's got out who's going to be in the scene and kind of making a name for themselves. So that's their avenue. So you don't know, who's going to do something different that you never seen before.
Yeah.
So that's
And there's
uh,
also Hamilton with their 8 or 9 different promotions, everything
yeah,
from
Hamilton's pretty busy now.
yeah,
That's why I was kind of like, oh, this should get more in London to kind of like spread out the wrestling a bit.
oh yeah, because
Yeah.
London, believe it or not, is a wrestling town. The crowds are always hot.
Oh yeah.
When
No, I remember my first show that I ever seen in London was the Hardcore Road Trip.
oh yeah,
Yes,
yep,
I was there for that. That was insane. I've never been to any type of show like that before, and to watch, and I was
I
very
was
very taken aback by it. So,
I
but
was
it was very
yeah.
entertaining. I loved it.
Oh yeah, I was also at both the hardcore road trip shows, the good one and the in I'm going to call it the infamous one.
Yes,
That
I've seen clips of it. The ending. Yes,
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 Colin Delaney doing his thing.
yes.
Yeah, which was it got a little crazy at the end there. But the first show is where I met a lot of the independent wrestlers from Ontario, New York, the people that I didn't actually know. Like somebody introduced me to Warhead for the first time at that show,
Yeah, no,
which was
I became friends with Warhead over the past year, and he's been like really super supportive in what I'm doing, and very encouraging. And he's a type that I've learned that that there's different things for different people and people uh, different what is it different styles for different smiles.
yep,
Uh, uh, yeah. No, and honestly, what I've learned in my experience is like the hardcore guys almost like the regards to like almost like the hardcore guys are the most progressive.
yes,
But that's something like in like coming into wrestling for the first time. It's not something I would expect. But for me, not like now, and I've kind of been around a bit. It's something that I see and I actually understand more. Maybe because hardcore guys have their own adversity in regards to people not accepting them,
hmm
and personally, me, I always had that feeling of not ever being accepted anywhere, or and something that's always kind of stuck with me. And then I kind of look at things a little differently, and it's kind of like okay, so that makes more sense to me now, and it's I'm not a hardcore guy myself, but
yeah,
for me, I'm keeping my eyes and ears open, and you never know.
oh yeah,
You never know what I get myself into. So I mean, I am doing what I can while I'm still at it. So I'm not hard nosed about it. I'm very open minded individual. So who knows what will happen?
yeah.
Who not what trouble I'll get into. So are you going to the New Year's show for
Yes.
Denver? Yeah,
Yes, I am.
unfortunately, I am away, but it's something I will,
What do you see for the future for Gato coming up?
oh, fuck if I know. Gee, I'm trying to think of my life. Where do I see? Where do I see myself? I guess my not immediate goals that I have is getting more people in wrestling shows. I mean, like getting more people out watching it, uh, and that's not necessarily mean being the draw or anything, but it's more of trying to be a person that works towards making as much of an inclusive space for new people to discover wrestling. I know, something for me is like when I first started like going to shows or whatever, there was some audiences that I was intimidated by, or I was just kind of like this is not me, or I don't fit in at all. Either they're a bit redneckish, or they're kind of like a a kind of like a boisterous hardcore crowd or whatever. And for somebody new coming in, it's it can be a bit of a scary thing to walk in, kind of walk into. So my thing for me is just like trying to make as much of a space where anybody can come in and have a good time. And regards to it, if it takes me 5 years to do that, then so be it. Regards to my wrestling goals, just want to I just want to be a great wrestler. So regards to I don't want I want to watch my match and not feel I have to like pick it apart all the time. That I feel that that this is the type of wrestling that I would watch this sort of thing. So like one of my other goals, kind of work different shows, and like I would work for a Matter of Pride down in Brooklyn, which is an LGBT promotion. And it'd be nice to kind of like be a part of another promotion that did something like that. So I mean, it's kind of to do something different and to do have an avenue to do things a little more outside the box. And for me, it's I don't really have an exact vision of where I am going to be 5 years down the road. It's just more of making sure that I keep at it and I keep pushing myself and I keep throwing myself into what I want to do. So if it means just still being able to wrestle in 5 years time, and still enjoy it and still love it like I do, that's all I really want. That's what I want. So yeah, not really. I don't know how much of a great answer that was, but that's my bit of honesty there, I guess.
Hey, honesty is always good because I'll be honest, I'm the world's worst liar. I cannot do it. I'm terrible at it, and I look kind of funny when I do it too. Just want to wrap this up here. And just want to ask, I've been noticing you've been working on wrestling gear on your social media. Are you taking orders? Or are you just doing that for fun, or?
I've been because this is a new venture for me. I am kind of like coming up with the I guess the growing pains of being a gear maker. I am taking orders, but I am taking very limited orders because I'm also busy wrestling, and I'm busy, and I'm on the road. I'm training. Like I don't live anywhere. I don't live close to wrestling, so it's for me to go. It's drive time and all that. So I've learned kind of like I have to like manage what I do, and so I try to take a couple of orders, and for the projects that really excite me. I've been asked for a few projects that didn't really entice me, so I kind of I took a polite pass to it. But as long as as something that excites me to do it, that's something that challenges me, something that I want to work on, and something I feel like I would do a great job at. I take it. Just have to kind of like learn how to kind of like keep a balance of things, because I mean I got wrestling and I got my personal life, and trying to trying not to burn myself up. So I do take orders, but very kind of
Limited.
a few at a time, like over a span of a couple of months. So, and small jobs, like if someone just wants just a straight up pair of trunks, like no decal or anything, it'll take me a few days, so I can spit those out pretty good. But when gear gets intricate and there's the finer details, that shit takes time, and it's all custom. So building patterns, it takes like I draft for a living, so regards to building patterns for panels and all of that is something that kind of came naturally for me. So that's why I guess I kind of excelled in year making thing so fast because it was kind of like that structural drying that I experience that I had to kind of like build things and kind of like then go out from there. Everything else is just sewing. You step on a machine and just go and just sewing happens. But it's the structural part and the kind of like building part, and that's something that my work experience kind of brought into something that I kind of put to exercise, I guess, or whatever. That's.
And if people want to follow you, because I'm going to say it here, guys, he has a very interesting social media. You gotta check this out. Where can people find you on the interweb, Gato?
Just socials.
The socials.
Hold on. I had to get this all right because I couldn't come up with a consistent name because just availability. So there's some underscore kind of stuff happening. So on Twitter, which is probably my most active account, it's at Gato _ Rojo. That's ROJO. Gato _ Rojo _ Okay. Instagram, it's Gato Rojo _ So there's only one underscore and it's at the end. That's all I could do. And Gato Rojo on Facebook. Just search Gato Rojo and hopefully you find it. So not really sure how to share Facebook, so just kind of free of it. Or just Google Gato Rojo and you'll see all the good stuff that comes up. I know there's some like Gato Rojo cafe in like Boston somewhere, so it's not that. So search Gato Rojo wrestler or something, and yeah, you'll find the good shit. So.
And when I put this up, guys, the people who've been following me, there's going to be a nice photo of Gato and all the links there. So just wait for that. Once again, Gato, thank you very, very much for coming on Gilmy Talks and making this short interview into an hour, which is awesome.
I could have just meowed for 5 minutes and we could have called it a wrap, but
Oh yeah.
All right. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, so what you do, you include the meows from the first of it, and then I just meow, 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 meow. You take those few meows, and then you just like chop everything else in the middle, and there's your short interview there.
Oh yeah, because I told my wife who I'm interviewing tonight, like I always do, and she's asking, so the cat guy? So is he just going to meow at you for 5 minutes? And my honest answer, I have no idea. So,
I could have done that, but whatever.
Oh yeah. No, this is way more interesting. But once again, thank you. And...
No, thank you for having me.
Hey folks, welcome back. Thanks for listening all the way through there. That was an amazing interview. I really enjoyed talking to Gato. It was fun. I just wanted to say a couple things. Like, review, share, tell friends. If you like Gilmy Talks, let people know about it. Helps me get more downloads, more recognition, get the show out to more people. If you want to like the Instagram page, the Facebook page, I put daily funnies up, and that's probably the best way to follow the podcast. Also got a webpage, www.gilmytalks.podbean.com. Go check that out. And I just want to say one last thing, guys. Holden Albright, former guest on the show, is doing a toy drive. The final day is December 15th. You got about, I'd say, a little under 2 weeks. If you wanna donate, you wanna give anything, contact myself. Go check out Holden Albright on Facebook and such there. It is a great cause, great way to give back. Gift cards for Toys R Us are accepted. Any unwrapped toy from for a child 0 to 18, preferably wrestling themed, but it does not have to be. If you're going out, you got a couple extra bucks. If you are in the London area, please contact me, justinmgilmet@gmail.com, or go to the Gilmy Talks Facebook page and DM me there. I will figure out a way to get it to Holden, whether I gotta drive down to Toronto myself. Just thank you very, very much. Thank you, Gato. And here is Cat Scratch Fever by Pantera to end the show. Thanks, thanks, guys.